Hello everybody, welcome to this instruction video. In this video I'd like to show you how to make the merry-go-round blanket. This blanket is one of my own designs and it's a very relaxing blanket where you don't have to worry about color changes because the yarn is doing it for you and you can just continue to work around and around and around. What happens in this blanket is we're making a rectangle, a base rectangle, and then we can continue to work in the round. So we're not going to join with a slip stitch from one round to the next. You can just continue to work again and again and again. I'll be showing you how to do the center, and then I'll show you the first two rows, and then I'll show you the edge of the blanket. If you want the full description, I've got a link to the pattern in this video description. The yarn that I'm using is Scheepjes Noorse Sokkerwol color. This is a color changing yarn and this is perfect to make this kind of a project. So all you need to do is make the stitches. The yarn does the color changes for you. In combination with this yarn I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. So I'll take you step by step through the elements that make up this blanket. I hope it's a useful video for you. Thank you for watching. I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook and chain 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 do not count as stitches, but you need them later on. We're now going to do foundation double crochets. Let's yarn over, then come to the first chain, so the one that's right here at the end. Just going to hook into there, to the back of that chain. Do a chain 1, that's the foundation of the stitch, and then complete the double crochet. You're going to do 50 of these. That was 1, and then 2. I've got a separate video showing exactly how to do the foundation stitches, slightly slower, so if you want to you can also check that video. Continue and do the foundation stitches. So you're going to do 50. That means you're going to have your foundation stitches and the chain 4 at the beginning. So that's 50 foundation stitches and the chain 4. Now for the purpose of this video I'm not going to be doing 50 foundation stitches. It's going to do about 10, but for the original blanket you need to do 50 because you want your blanket to be not a true rectangle, so you need a significant difference between the length and the width of the blanket. I'm just going to continue until I've got about 10 foundation double crochets. So I've now done 10 foundation double crochets. You see those 10 here and the chain 4 at the beginning. We're now going to work our first corner and the second edge of the rectangle. Chain 2. This is your corner. We're now going to work 3 double crochets in the base of the foundation double crochet we just worked. Let me just open that up. If you look here at this last foundation double crochet, here at the bottom there you've got that chain 1 that made up the bottom of the foundation double crochet. In there we're going to work 3 double crochets, and that will then make the second edge of the rectangle. So yarn over, in that space there at the bottom work 1 double crochet, and in that same space, same chain 1, work a second and a third. As you can see there, in that bottom you've now got 3 double crochets. You see that chain 2 there, that's going to be your first corner. So you've now got two edges of the rectangle. See, you've got that edge and you've got this edge. Now we're going to make a new corner and come down and work the third edge here. So that again means chain 2, that's for the corner. And now we're going to work a double crochet in each stitch here at the bottom of these foundation stitches. So these chain 1s you've got here at the bottom, you're going to work double crochets in there. The first one you're going to work in the same space as where you already have these 3 double crochets in. So in that same space I'm going to add another double crochet to that. Then we continue and work a double crochet on each of the others also. So that first one, see there, so this makes your second corner. Just pull it slightly apart. You've got a corner there and a corner there. And that first one you've worked in the same position as you already have those 3 there. Then in the next position it's going to be in there. You're going to work the second. And now if you're working the pattern, you'll work 50 of these. But because I've only done a few double crochets or foundation double crochets, I've of course got less here. To work the blanket you have quite a few more. So I'm going to continue and work a double crochet on every stitch, on each of these bottom stitches. One last one to do. You see on that last foundation double crochet there, you're just going to work a double crochet on that. And now you're onto the chain 4 space here. You're not going to work a double crochet on there. So this is your last one. If you do the pattern you'll have 50 double crochets here in a row. So I've only got 10, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, because I did 10 foundation stitches here. Now we need to do the 4th edge of the rectangle. So chain 2 for another corner. You're going to come to the chain 4 space, one here from the beginning, and work 3 double crochets in there. That's 1, 2, and 3. Now, this completes your rectangle from row 1. It looks slightly lopsided, I realize that, but because we're going to be working a continuous round, you need this kind of forced corner here. From round 3 onwards, this will look a lot more natural. Round 2. This round we're going to make this lopsided rectangle here a little bit straighter. I'm going to start by making a double crochet in the same space. So this is 1, actually make 2 double crochets. This is in the same chain 4 space. I'm going to move it a little bit down. So that's actually extending the edge of this rectangle. Chain 2 followed by 1 double crochet. And now you've made a new corner here and you've extended the edge of this rectangle. Now the easy bit comes. I'm going to work a double crochet on every stitch. So this is the first one. So work a double crochet on every stitch. And when you get to the corner, you work 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And that is basically it. You're going to continue doing that until you either run out of yarn or your blanket is big enough, whichever comes first. And what you can see already happening with the yarn that I'm using is you can already see color changes occurring. And that's the beauty of this yarn, is that it does all the color effects for you. Now I'm just on the last double crochet here. So now I'm to a corner. In this corner work 2 double crochets. That's 1, 2, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And now you're on a new edge of the rectangle. So here you're again going to work a double crochet on every stitch. Now here it's only 3, so this is a very short edge, but this will of course increase as you've done more and more rounds of the pattern. You're on to a next corner. You do 2 double crochets. So only that very first corner was not symmetrical. That one we did here. Here had only the 2, chain 2 and the 1. So that means this edge is going to be 1 stitch shorter than that edge. Now don't worry about that, because as the blanket grows you won't see that, but I've done this just to be able to get this turn nice and smooth in there, that I've only done the 1 stitch. So here I need a second, and let me get a bit more yarn, and now again 1 double crochet on every stitch, and slowly but surely already starting to get slightly bigger motif, slightly bigger fabric. You can really see how the color changes in this yarn are working, and they go very subtle, so you don't really even notice it. It's just suddenly think, oh, I've got a new color, and that's actually really nice. Just going to continue more. I'm just going to do 1 or 2 more edges, and then you can do this without me. You see I've now done how I've started here, gone round there, and now at a corner again. So here do 2, so when you get to a chain 2 space you do 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets in that space, and basically for every double crochet you come across you make a double crochet on that. So here I've now got 5 double crochets, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and this is technically the end of round 2, so I'm just going to show you the start of round 3 again. Now for round 3 and further, it's just really going to be the same rhythm for each and every edge. In a corner you do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then a double crochet on each and every stitch, and you're going to do that for many rounds, because depending on how much yarn you have, depending on your gauge, you're of course going to have a certain amount of rounds that you need to get a decent sized blanket. I've got yarn amounts on my blog if you want to check exactly how much yarn you need for which size of blanket, and again that is just an indication because it will depend on your own gauge, and if your gauge is different to mine your yarn usage will be different also. So you can see I'm just going to do 1 or 2 more edges with you, and then I'll make a jump just to show you the last part of the blanket, to do the edge, to do that crab stitch border. And I'm now onto an orange color. Isn't that interesting? Started with the pink, and I turned into a bit of a brown, and now I'm onto orange. So it's just really cool. I really like this yarn. It's also very soft, very fluffy yarn. And that last double crochet, so I'm onto a corner again. So again 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2 and 2 double crochets. On your edge, 1 double crochet on every stitch. And this is really a pattern that you can do in front of the TV. You can actually watch a show. You don't have to count stitches. You don't have to worry about attaching new yarn, unless of course you get to the end of a ball. I suggest using a Russian join for that, because that will give you the neatest effect. You don't have to worry about changes in the color sequence of this yarn. Just attach a new color. You're really not going to notice any sudden jumps in the color sequence. Don't worry about that. So do a double crochet on every stitch. Watch your favorite show while you do so. And when you get to the corner, work 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. And continue this for many, many more rows. I'm going to make my piece just slightly bigger, and then I'll show you how to do the border. Right, now let's assume this is how large you want to make your blanket. Now this is of course eeny meeny small, because I've only actually done a few rounds. You can see here we started, that's the foundation row, and how we went round. I've now done a few rounds, and I've now decided, okay, my blanket is big enough. Now let me show you just the last part. It really doesn't matter where you stop, whether you stop in this corner or that corner or here, because by the time you've got a full-size blanket, it's really not going to make much difference exactly where you stop. So let me show you the last part. In your last chain 2 space here, I'm not going to work a full corner. I'm just going to work 1 double crochet, like so. And if you hear any banging in the background, that's my husband. He's working in the garage at the moment. I believe he's making a nativity set. So what I'm going to do now, after this 1 double crochet in the chain 2 space, I'm going to come backwards and work a series of crab stitches. Chain 1, that's just to get me started, and then come back, and on the previous stitch work your first crab stitch. Now, crab stitch might be a little tricky if you've never done this before. I've also got a separate video showing in detail exactly how to do that stitch. But in essence, it's a single crochet that you're working backwards. So I'm going to go into the previous stitch, turn and come back in, and complete the single crochet. So insert the twist, pick up the yarn, bring it forward, and complete the single crochet. And you're going to work a crab stitch on every double crochet, and when you get to a corner, I'm going to work 2 crab stitches in the corner. And this crab stitch, what's going to happen is it's going to give you a nice dense border stitch here. You can see that nice border there. That's just going to really finish off your blanket. It's going to give you a nice edge. So continue. I'm just going to show you how to go around the corner. I'm going to work a double crochet on every stitch. Sorry, a double crochet, a reverse double crochet, so a crab stitch. I do mean a single crochet. I've got all my terms twisted just like my hook. A reverse single crochet, also called a crab stitch. I'm doing the right thing, trust me. Let's go through now. I'm almost to the corner. You see I've got that 1 stitch left there. Just going to do that last crab stitch on that last stitch there. Now you're onto the chain 2 space, also in there. Just go through the space as though you're making a single crochet. Nothing weird about it, but only it's going the wrong way. So make 2 crab stitches in the chain 2 space, and then onto the next edge, again a crab stitch, and again. And this you're going to continue until you're all the way around. So you can see the nice edge you're getting here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work all these crab stitches here also in the chain 2 space, work 2 and come down, and then I'm just going to show you this last part here, just how to go from this last stitch on this side to the beginning again. So I'm almost round, so I just want to show you this last part. You can see how I've done all these stitches so you get a really nice edge. So I've got just that last double crochet there that I still want to do. I have to work one more crab stitch in there, and now you're onto the chain space that contains that last double crochet that you worked. In that chain space, work one more crab stitch, then around the post of this double crochet, so in that space there, also work a crab stitch, because what you want to do is you want to come up to here, so around that post of that double crochet, see, so it's kind of to the side of the stitch, also work a crab stitch. And now we're going to come up and close here on this first stitch, on that first crab stitch. And honestly, it doesn't really matter exactly where you push your hook in here, because this is going to be a tight squeeze anyway. So punch your hook in there somewhere, and then close all of that with a slip stitch. And there you go. And now you can cut your yarn, and you've finished your merry-go-round blanket.